How are you feeling after another strong win, arguably a bit stronger than your last two coming back off the line?
Yeah, we're really pleased with that performance. We just talked internally about, we set a goal at the start of the year to qualify for the finals, and we can, officially say that we got 14 wins, and we do that. Not in our wildest dreams we'd ever think that we'd have that, at this time of year, in this such a tight competition. So we wanted to celebrate that. We have a deep win on that. I was just wrapped tonight with our system against a team with their backs against the wall.
Is there a sense that your ability to light up the players over the last few weeks, bring Tom Mitchell back, those sorts of things, and still win in the way that you are, it's a bit of a luxury, but also it does give you selection pressure in the next few weeks?
It's a good problem to have if that's real, like the selection pressure. But the guys coming and doing their job, that's credit to our development team. We've got a guy playing he's been at the club for 3 weeks, young Rowan, and he looks like he's been at the club for months. So there's someone's doing that work. Someone's teaching that young man the patterns of our offence and defence. And Andy Otten and Josh Fraser are fantastic the way they set these guys up. Will Parker comes in, does a job. He just looks like he's been playing with us for weeks. And we're wrapped in our system. Lockie Sullivan's best game for AFL footy he's ever played, and we've got a few guys out, and that challenges you. But it's nice when you got players who come in and do their job.
Jamie Elliot's kicked 40 plus goals now for the first time in his career. How else are you going this year?
Yeah, he's been fantastic, Jamie, and never been happier in part of the leadership group. And I've repeated myself here, things I've said in the past, but the way we're connecting inside 50, Jamie is giving us a great presence, and then playing part of a system that we've always sort of found a way to score, but we've never really had anyone that kicks 4 or 5 goals regularly, and Jamie's done that this year, which has probably taken us to a new level.
Craig, you must have been delighted with the performance of captain tonight in the lead of Darcy Ward. Really important to the way that he's marking, but also his closing speed and ability to be able to cover the ground so much. Yeah, so we got Jamie at one end, getting rewarded for our system and ball movement, and then the other end, our defence. Darcy just led from the front. He was outstanding, and just in a big game against an arch rival, to have your captain stand up and just say, hey, look, this is going to be hard to score against tonight, because I'm going to make us be really hard to score against. So we're wrapped in this game. It was fantastic. And that's the build-up of that slow defensive game that you preserve, and then building up to that fast play because you forwards that opportunity to score and go forward. Yeah, it's all that. It's absolutely all that. We'd like to think our offence and defence are hand in glove. If you go too fast, it's hard to defend behind it, and if you go too slow, then it's hard to score as well. But we'd like to live in the balance of that, and tonight's an indication we kept the opposition at 58 or 59 points. We're wrapped in that. Is that the template? Is that the actual blueprint that you think is the almost perfect on tonight's performance of 3 quarters? Because in the last quarter, your scenario played in terms of later in the game what you might confront later in the season. Look, we don't aim for perfection. We don't. It's actually a word I wrote on the board before the game. We're trying to get balance of offence, defence, and stuff, but we're not aiming to be perfect. We're allowed to make mistakes. We can grow for those things, and I just want our players to feel comfortable. Like I think last week there was an air of expectation. We're playing West Coast. Come on, but West Coast are playing good footy. Well, they were in particular last week in terms of how they were hard to play against. But not a word we use often, only maybe to draw upon, hey, we don't have to be perfect.
You took 22 contested marks in this one. Is it something that you really relish, the fact that you can compete in the air, but also on the ground you've got that balance, aerial and ground?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to our analytics team. Jack Prado does an incredible job, him and his team, and we saw a bit of a trend towards our contested number, which we didn't love. It wasn't sort of, we'd won 7 games in a row, but we're process driven, so we did a bit of a deeper dive, or Jack and his team did, and it's incredible the work they did to just spell out a couple of little areas we thought we could tidy up. And we get to work tonight, because of that research and all those numbers, and then breaking down every contest for the last 8 weeks, how we won it, how we didn't neutralise, whatever it looks like, and then our coaches can get to work. This is an organisation. I've got so many amazing staff, and Jack and the analytics team did an awesome job this week.
You feeling for Michael Voss at all? There's a lot of pressure around him at the moment.
Yeah, of course I do. You know, for all our excitement, there's a level of, I hope my mate's okay. And yeah, as much as we want to beat our arch rival, that's done now. You know, just go into love and care and support for a guy that I've got an enormous love and support for. And so I hope he's going okay. And this is a tough industry. We know we sit in this chair, it's a hot seat. And when things don't work out, you know, we know what the job, you know, sometimes puts across your desk. So, but I just hope he's okay.
The two of you always talk about how you don't talk during the build-up, we get touch base pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'll reach out and I'm not sure I can do anything other than just be there for him, you know, so we can maybe have someone to chat to through this period. So I wish him well.
Isaac Wainwright seems to really relish being a leader down back in three contested marks with him tonight as well. How have you seen his influence? Because he kind of flies under the radar alongside Jeremy Howell and Dustin Moore.
Yeah, well, I thought last week he had 9 possessions, but he was so influential. Like, he just has big impact, and the ball comes to his area, he marks it all the time. He's back to his 23 form, which was, you know, he was in the All-Australian squad in that year. And, you know, the numbers don't tell the story. You know, the impact and the ability to win and neutralise. And I'm loving Q's form. His leadership's really taken off too. His second year in the leadership group. I'm wrapped with his form.
Tom Mitchell's return. What did you make of that tonight? And how important can he be going forward?
Yeah, another one that's been hungry. Just, you know, we talk about the youth coming in and doing the job, but it's nice to bring a Brownlow medalist that's been really hungry to get an opportunity. He's been on my desk, sitting on my couch for weeks. You know, what do I need to do? What more do I need to do? And you know, I sort of saw the middle of winter as a great chance to bring Tom back because the game changes. It's contest clearance, you know, all those things that Tom brings to the fore. I was really, really rapt to get him back in our team.
It's a long season. Congrats on qualifying for finals.
Yeah, thank you.
Incredible, but there's still a long way to go. How do you balance trying to finish as high as you possibly can and managing players?
Yeah, well, this will be a delicate balance, not to, you know, flirt with too much, but then have a reality that, you know, we're in a great position to look at tonight. We had 3 or 4 guys that are ill, and we just don't. Why would we put them out there? Like, they're not well. Maybe in the past you're fighting for something. You go, oh, you know, hopefully his 3/4 of Steele Sidebottom's best might be enough. Shout out to you, Steele. We missed you tonight. But you know, we just don't need to do that. This has given us a chance to do things like that. Jared Wade, I'll make sure I'll leave all this stuff to him. He's you know, in my eyes, the best in the business, and we're managing players through games. You have a look at the game time tonight. Some of the players had low game time. Yeah, we'll certainly just won't flirt with things, but there'll be a deliberate plan to make sure we're right.
And the performance of Daniel McStay contributed on the score, but just his impact that he's had since coming back into the team has really signalled another direction as well.
Yeah, and I thought Tim Memory was fantastic with his leadership and his fight and giving us a great contest. And you know, to have those guys sort of working in unison, and we go back to the numbers, and we need to improve in certain parts of the game, and that's one thing we talked about, and we went to work on it, and Dan gets rewarded, and we love when Dan's jumping the ball. It's got sticky fingers. Thanks, guys.